Welcome to my channel Teach Me 24/7. Today we are going to discuss the questions and answers for class 6th History NCERT chapter 9, that is Vital Villages and Thriving Towns. Question number 1. Fill in the blanks. Dash was a word used for large landowners in Tamil. So it was Vellalar. The gramabhojaka often got his land cultivated by the slaves and workers. Ploughmen were known as dash in Tamil, Uzhavar. Most grihapatis were smaller. Question number 2. Describe the functions of gramabhojaka. Why do you think he was powerful? The functions of gramabhojaka. In the north part of India, the village headman was known as gramabhojaka. He owned a very large piece of land and got it cultivated by his slaves and hired workers. He used to collect taxes from the village by the order of the king. He also functioned as a judge and sometimes as a policeman. Gramabhojaka as a powerful man. His post was hereditary. Usually, men from the same family held the position for his generations. The Gramabhojaka was generally the largest landowner. Generally, he had slaves and hired workers to cultivate the land. Besides, as he was powerful, the king often used him to collect taxes from the village. The Gramabhojaka also functioned as a judge and sometimes as a policeman. Question number 3. List the craftsperson who would have been present in both villages and cities. The list of craftspersons who would have been present in both villages and cities are goldsmiths, blacksmiths, weavers, carpenters, perfumers, garland makers, basket makers, and statue makers. Question number 4. Choose the correct answer. Ring wells were used for drainage. Punched mark coins were made up of silver. Mathura was important religious center. Forested area, shrines were associations of craftspersons. Question number 5. Which of the iron tools shown on page number 87 of the NCERT textbook would have been important for agriculture? What would the other tools have been used for? The iron tools shown on page number 87 are sickle, tongs, and axe. The ones that would have been used for agriculture were sickle and axe. So here in this image you can see this is tong and the second one is axe and third is sickle. Tongs would have been used to hold things without actually touching them. Question number 6. Compare the drainage system in your locality with that of cities mentioned in the lesson. What similarities and differences do you notice? In our locality, the drainage system includes pipes and drains. In the lesson, it is mentioned that irrigation projects, things that were built during the time which we have studied in the chapter, including ring wells and drains. Comparison. The first one, similarities. I live in a city. Our locality has a good drainage system. Every individual house or building also has a good drainage system. Archaeologists have also found some drains and garbage dumps in each of the city or town or site mentioned in the chapter and in an individual house. Differences or dissimilarities. Nowadays, everything, project or work is well maintained and made up of good raw materials. But in early cities, mud bricks and thatch had been used, which might not have been survived long. We use separator and filters with modern technology, which was not there earlier. Question number 7. If you have seen craftsperson at work, describe in a short paragraph what they do. Hint: how do they get the raw materials? What kind of equipment do they use? How do they work? What happens to the finished product? So the answer is craftsperson at work. Different craftspersons work in villages and cities. For example, blacksmith, goldsmith, carpenters, potters, weavers, etc. Craftsmen get the raw material from the villages, nearby cities, and even import from far regions of India as well as from other countries. Craftspersons use different types of equipment as required for their crafts. For example, a potter uses potter's wheel, spade, a stick, spin thread, a bright fire burning or furnace, heating, and beating metal rods. A blacksmith uses iron and other metals, a furnace, a hammer, a big iron rod, etc. A weaver uses a spinning wheel, cotton, needle, scissors, dye colors, dyeing vessels, etc. A carpenter uses wood, iron, a hand axe, borer, iron blade, nails. How do they work? Most of the craftsmen worked at their own cottage or home. Other family members used to help him. Many craftspersons formed associations known as shrenis. Shrenis of craftspersons provided training, procured raw material, and distributed the finished product. What happened to the finished product? After keeping a small part by the craftsperson for their own or their family use, they took the remaining part of the production or surplus production to local markets or neighbor merchants. These merchants or traders used to take the products to those parts of the country or to the other countries where they were demanded by the people or foreign traders or nationals. Question number 8. List the functions performed by men and women who live in your city and village. In what ways are these similar to those performed by people who lived in Mathura? In what ways they are different? In our city, different types of functions such as domestic, officials related with government posts or departments are performed by men and women as their daily routine. Mathura. It was and even today an important religious city about 2500 years ago. It was also important because this city was located at the two main trade and travel routes. This city is known for several temples and shrines. Farmers and herders from adjoining areas provided food items to the citizens who lived in the city. Similarities. In our city or village, people work as traders or merchants or farmers, as the men of the old city of Mathura performed. The women did a lot of work at home as the domestic wives or ladies perform in modern cities and villages. Differences. People in Mathura did work for the kings and their family members, but now in cities or villages, people do work to meet their family needs or daily expenses. That's all from the chapter number 9 of class 6th History NCERT. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more such videos.